Hey, listen up. If you are over 50, you are destroying your brain with certain foods. Eating these foods will inevitably make you the one wandering around the neighborhood in your nightgown at 3 a.m. They can make you struggle to remember your grandkids' names or where you left your keys. Wait, what? You're already forgetful sometimes? Well, I have some good news for you. Certain foods age your brain faster than normal, but if you change what you eat, you can slow or even reverse this trend. Too many daily calories from highly processed foods like lunch meats, frozen dinners, and packaged cookies may speed up cognitive decline, and you can stop that progression if you commit to never eating these 6 foods again. Now, I get it. It's hard to give up something even if it's not good for you. Guilty pleasures make for strong habits, right? But when you find out what these foods are doing to your brain, you'll want to run to the kitchen and shove them down the garbage disposal. But here's the kicker. You don't have to feel like you're giving anything up. There are better options, and I'll share those too if you stick with me to the end. Now, get rid of these foods. Number 6, trans fats. Just the name sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Trans fats are those nasty, uber-processed oils that are chemically turned into solid fats. They make you fat. They clog your arteries. And I shudder at the thought. They shrink your brain, because those clogged arteries mean your brain isn't getting enough blood flow. This makes your thinking slower than molasses in a January deep freeze. Remember, I'll share great alternatives to trans fats at the end of this video. Number 5, super salty foods. We all know too much salt spikes blood pressure. But did you know that high-sodium foods like deli meats and prepared soups can actually lower your intelligence? High sodium levels damage the walls of blood vessels. So basically, the sodium bomb that you call a ham sandwich is restricting blood flow to the brain. Brain-related problems, such as cerebral vascular disease, stroke, and cognitive impairment, have all been linked to dietary salt. Endothelial cells line our blood vessels and are responsible for regulating the vascular tone. But a high dietary intake of salt has been associated with dysfunction of these cells, which are responsible for a steady and smooth flow of oxygen. Stick with me for a great alternative to super salty foods, because once you stop eating overly salted food, you won't crave salt anymore. Number 4, artificial sweeteners. You may be using artificial sweeteners in an attempt to lose weight. While artificial sweeteners contain fewer calories, long-term use causes brain damage and problems like learning problems, migraines, headaches, anxiety, mood swings, depression, and insomnia. That's a trade-off that's not worth it. Number 3, junk food, fast food, and fried food. I know it's addictive, but are you willing to deal with depression and anxiety from eating too much junk and fried stuff? I didn't think so. Number 2, processed foods. Nearly all processed foods contain a laundry list of unpronounceable chemicals that turn your brain to sludge. They've even been linked to Alzheimer's. Are you pausing this video to run to the kitchen yet to throw out the convenience foods? You should be. A diet rich in chips, cookies, hot dogs, and other highly processed foods is harmful for the aging brain, according to a new study presented in the Alzheimer's Association International Conference. Researchers looked at the eating habits and performance on tests of thinking skills over the years in almost 11,000 adults from Brazil. They found that those who ate the highest amounts of ultra-processed foods had a faster rate of decline in their thinking skills on standard tests than those who ate the lowest amounts of these unhealthy foods. Number 1, sugar. If you can cut out just one food group from these toxic brain destroyers, make it sugar. This one's tricky, but hear me out. All of the food you eat is converted to glucose. Glucose is the primary fuel of every cell in your body, and your brain uses 1/2 of your sugar energy. But excess sugar is a real killer. Sugar is terrible for your waistline and your skin, and a diet heavy in sugar leads to neurological problems you do not want. High blood glucose levels can affect the brain's functional connectivity, which links the brain regions that share functional properties and brain matter. It can cause the brain to atrophy or shrink, and it can lead to small vessel disease, which restricts blood flow in the brain, causing cognitive difficulties and, if severe enough, spurring the development of vascular dementia. Even if you don't use table sugar, sugar is everywhere in processed food. Call it corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, juice, or nectar. Sugar has many names. It's still sugar, and it's more than you need. Okay, so now that you know what not to eat for brain health, here are some delicious alternatives. Instead of trans fats, choose foods with healthy fats, like olive oil. Instead of super salty foods, eat more home-cooked meals where you control the salt amounts. Add salt in the very beginning of the cooking process, where the salt reacts chemically with the food to enhance the flavor. You will not need to salt your food at the end. Instead of artificial sweeteners, develop a savory tooth by choosing food that is minimally sweetened or totally unsweetened. Spices are a great way to make food more delicious without making it sweeter. Instead of junk food, browse the internet for fast and easy recipes that take literally minutes to cook. Rediscover the joy of cooking fast, simple, and nutritious food for yourself and your loved ones. You deserve it. Instead of processed foods, same thing. Learn to cook a few healthy go-to meals that don't come with a chemistry set of ingredients. YouTube is a great recipe resource. The alternative to sugar is spice. Cinnamon and vanilla give foods a perceived sweetness that satisfies, without the brain-damaging sugar bomb. Now you know how you can easily reduce or remove these 6 foods that will destroy your brain. Just by doing this, you can slow or even reverse brain aging. Start small by being more mindful of what you spend your grocery money on and gradually change your taste preferences towards whole, healthy, home-cooked meals. You can do it, and your brain will thank you.